high smog in national capital Delhi. The pollution level in Delhi is very serious and an emergency situation is prevailing which is not good for the population. These kinds of pollution levels are not normal. Delhi's air has become unbreathable. The city is hazy and full of smoke, but it's not cold enough to be dismissed as fog. Doctors are asking people, especially children and adults, not to venture out. School administrations are suspending classes. Parents are stockpiling pollution masks. The whole region seems like we've just entered a Hollywood apocalypse movie, where the world may end because of a natural disaster that has been caused by our gradual neglect of nature's signs. The current severe nature of Delhi's foul air is bad for the residents of Delhi. There are 3 mistakes that Delhi needs to avoid while planning to solve the pollution crisis. The farm fires of Punjab and Haryana and its impact on Delhi's air have proved once again that apart from local sources like transport, industry, etc., the quality of air that one breathes is also impacted by regional issues. Watershed analysis is a common technique in planning for drainage of an area by looking at the source of water. Similarly, the concept of airshed technique is something that is still to develop. This would involve scientifically analyzing the extent of area around Delhi that influences its air. Once we know how the air is being impacted, authorities from the entire region can work on a unified strategy to counter air pollution. This would mean that Delhi government and central government along with the adjoining states of Haryana, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh may need to come together to solve the crisis of Delhi NCR as well as the neighboring region. Borrowing from Sun Tzu, I would say that knowing the problem is most important for solving it. Beijing, which has been facing the same problem since years, has managed to get concrete results by introducing a slew of measures in the city. The Chinese government, as part its National Action Plan on Air Pollution Control, started by acknowledging the severity of the problem. They pledged to reduce PM10 levels in cities, nationally, by at least 10% from the level in 2012 and reduce PM2.5 levels in Beijing and 2 other cities by 25%. Similarly, Delhi and the central government should come up with a roadmap for curbing air pollution. These should have measurable air quality improvement targets that should be made public so that the agencies can be held accountable for them, and it will give a clear direction to the people that the government is committed to improve the air quality in Delhi NCR. While everyone is blaming the farm fires for Delhi's toxic air, we forget to realize that improving from severe to very bad air is really not an improvement in their true sense. Therefore, if Delhi needs the region to act for it, the city also needs to demonstrate concrete action in curbing pollution. Transport is one sector that is one of the largest contributors to PM2.5 exposure as per the 2011 study by the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. Delhi needs to double its public transport supply from existing 5,500-odd buses. It also needs to develop infrastructure for walking and cycling. In addition, the city needs to restrict the growth and usage of private automobiles by putting a cap on the registration of vehicles in the city and levying additional cess on the outstation vehicles. It also needs to develop low-emission zones in the city wherein, apart from public transport vehicles, there should be restriction on the use of private vehicles. Similarly, action on other fronts like waste burning, industrial emission, construction dust, etc. are also important and need to be addressed urgently. The impact of developing the above strategy and its execution will take time. Till then, Delhi needs to develop and execute an environment emergency plan wherein a slew of measures are introduced depending on the gravity of the situation. These measures should be enforced every time the pollution levels are breached. Addressing the above issue is not easy. In fact, it was not easy in any other city that has addressed it successfully. However, we need to remember that there is no other option because air pollution in Delhi NCR is a ticking time bomb. Air pollution is rapidly becoming the biggest environmental concern around the world. India's capital, Delhi, is amongst the 10 most polluted cities in the world. With rapid urbanization that has created varied economic avenues for people, Delhi has also become the asthma capital of India. It is obvious to expect the terrible health impacts due to deteriorating air quality in the city. As per a report by Greenpeace, about 1.2 million people across India die every year due to air pollution, causing a loss of 3% to the GDP of the country. But the truth remains that most of us barely acknowledge it as a severe problem. Measures required to control air pollution. There is a lot of population pressure in Delhi. There is a need for long-term urban policy, long-term developmental policy, and avoid the concentration of development in only one city. There is a need to weed out the vehicles which are 15 years old, which are emanating more pollution because their efficiency is low. This has to be done very firmly. The odd and even system deployed is a very small measure. Its impact on the air quality was very negligible. Along with this, there should be a slew of measures with equal amount of vigor and commitment to control the air pollution, which has never taken place. Managing the air quality is the task of many departments. We need greater coordination, greater implementation, and greater public awareness. Advertise and say very clearly the responsibility at individual and collective levels. The heavy traffic which uses Delhi as a corridor needs to be prevented. The trucks which pass to other states will pass through Delhi. Supreme Court has doubled their fine, that is the environment compensation. But fees are not the solution, as people are capable of paying it. Safety measures required. The citizens have to be very careful because the situation is very serious. People must come out of their home if it is necessary. Doing heavy exercise outside and games should be avoided because the intake of the air and the metabolism increases, which means more pollutants enter the body. The activities like burning of waste should be minimum. We should not consume more electricity than what is required. Restrain on burning of crackers. Carpooling so that the number of cars on roads gets reduced. We should not throw waste on road, which finally turns into pollution. Reduce waste generation because the city does not have the capacity to handle it. Individuals have to take care of themselves by using masks. Preventing air pollution is not a charity work, rather it benefits the own individual or the community. This kind of an attitude must be inculcated to the public and keep on reminding to the people about their responsibility.